We keep the best and toss the rest!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at characters and storylines that the Inside Out films left in the memory dump.
Hey, bring those back!
They're in the dump. Nothing comes back from the dump.
Yeah.
Number 10. Idea Farmer. On their journey back to headquarters in the first film, Joy and Sadness come across a collection of colorful characters. In an early draft, this would have included the Idea Farmer. Along with Bing Bong, Joy and Sadness become stranded in idea fields where the farmer man pulls over.
Oh, you are welcome, Sight. I'm Joy from headquarters, and we are in a real hurry, and
Me too. Gotta get these ideas to market. And that sky's not looking so good.
Riley, we gotta hurry.
He takes them on a wild ride down a narrow one-way road obscured by fog. Although Joy begins to second-guess if hitchhiking was the best idea, they make it to the other side in one piece.
I'm not really good with up and down.
The filmmakers thought the Idea Farmer could be a solid source of humor, but the character didn't turn out as funny as they hoped. Not finding him necessary to the story, they cut the farmer and idea fields.
Hey, what's the big idea? You better fix that wall or else you're in big trouble.
Number 9. Riley's Thanksgiving Pageant. Inside Out was this close to being a Thanksgiving movie. The plot initially wasn't going to revolve around Riley moving from Minnesota to San Francisco. Riley already would have been growing up in San Francisco, where she has one thing on her mind: playing the prized turkey in her school's Thanksgiving pageant. We've all been there.
We won't stay fresh for very long, so we ask you before we finish this song.
Reflecting on this version, director Pete Docter said it was, quote, bizarre and didn't really work. They opted for a more relatable conflict. Although Pixar nearly did something similar in the sequel.
I plan for the future. Oh, I can show you. You're gonna love this.
In the first test screening for Inside Out 2, a talent show would have taken place. While that would have been one way to introduce anxiety, director Kelsey Mann's team felt Riley's love of hockey should be at the center.
Look at her, having fun and laughing. Ah, I love this one.
I love that one too.
Number 8. An Antagonistic Joy. Joy has her flaws, but like Woody in the scrapped version of Toy Story, she was almost far more antagonistic. In several deleted scenes, Joy fights against the reality that Riley's getting older, meaning more boring responsibilities and less time to goof around.
We don't have time for monkey bars? Are you even listening to yourself right now? Monkey bars!
In this version, the emotions also would have had less authority over what Riley does, serving more as voices in her head. Joy's voice goes unheard as Riley loses interest in the monkey bars and other childish things.
Pizza and music isn't a party. It isn't even a play date. We're not going, and that's final.
I'll be there. Thanks.
This incarnation of Joy was more entitled, resistant to growth, and kind of mean-spirited, even suggesting that Riley spit on a girl who invites her to a party. The filmmakers wanted Joy to have an edge, but they thankfully dialed it back.
You can't focus on what's going wrong. There's always a way to turn things around, to find the fun.
Number 7. Music Cognition.
Isn't this nice? You can see everything from up here. Look, there's inductive reasoning, there's déjà vu.
Even after 2 films, there's still much uncharted territory in Riley's mind. Among the places we didn't get to see is music cognition. This land would have visualized music, exploring how it triggers thoughts and can function as a language. While venturing through music cognition, Joy's voice would have turned musical, taking on shapes.
What's happening?
No, they turned it on.
Never seen this before.
This proposed setting was ultimately left out of the first film because it shared too much in common with abstract thought, another location that morphs the intangible into something more literal. If Inside Out is ever adapted into a stage musical, though, music cognition sounds like a prime locale to revisit. Can we get Julie Taymor to develop this, please?
I start with the notion of the ideograph. An ideograph is like a brush painting, a Japanese brush painting. 3 strokes, you get the whole bamboo forest.
Number 6. Procrastination Land. It's never easy for a director to admit that one of their favorite moments isn't working. For Inside Out 2, Kelsey Mann conceded that Procrastination Land didn't fit into the narrative as much as he loved the idea.
It is funny, but it's just hurting the moment, you know. You just, and then typically then I'll go, all right, I see your point, and we're like, well, let's just try it in a screening and pull it out and see if it gets broken.
The emotions would have come across this location with a perpetual coming soon sign. Anger questions when they're going to start building this place as the crew looks at their phones, delaying construction until tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. While 13-year-olds like Riley are known to procrastinate, the team couldn't find a way to organically work it into the story. The filmmakers may resurrect the idea if/when they make Inside Out 3. They'll be putting it off until then, however. Number 5. Other imaginary friends.
Who's your friend who likes to play?
Bing bong, bing bong.
His rocket makes you yell hooray. Bing bong, bing bong.
What exactly are you supposed to be?
He's part cat, elephant, dolphin, and cotton candy. But did you realize Bing Bong also dresses like a traveling tramp? There's a reason for this. Originally, Joy and Sadness were going to meet Bing Bong at Hobo Camp, which provided a home for out-of-work imaginary friends. The place would have been populated with doodles and other things Riley dreamed up when she was 3.
Imagination Land is the best!
Oh, is it all gonna be so interactive?
In addition to Bing Bong, the camp featured a stick figure named Ms. Scribbles and Mr. Sun, who is essentially an arc drawn in the corner of a paper. While this might have amounted to some fun visuals and jokes, the filmmakers limited the imaginary friends to 1. This made Bing Bong more special and his sacrifice more poignant.
I bet you and Riley had great adventures.
Oh, they were wonderful. Once we flew back in time, we had breakfast twice that day.
Number 4. Bing Bong the Anarchist. Like Joy, Bing Bong was originally going to be more reluctant to accept Riley's maturity. In a deleted scene, we see Bing Bong protest the expansion of Riley's mind as the construction comes at the expense of Imagination Park.
You hear me? We're not going to take this lying down. We are going to bring back playtime and nap time and
That's that guy again.
Power to the imaginary people.
That locale evolved into Imagination Land in the finished film. A few other ideas from this scene were also revived in the sequel. The sarcasm generator, for example, became the sarcasm.
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys! Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys!
Wow.
As for Bing Bong being a radical, this character trait was discarded. This Bing Bong put his self-preservation and desires above Riley's development. While the Bing Bong we know and love wishes that Riley still needed an imaginary friend to play with, he understands that she must move on without him.
Go! Go save Riley! Take her to the moon for me, okay?
Number 3. Joy Alone. As satisfied as Pete Docter was with how Inside Out turned out, he looks back at one deleted scene, wondering if they missed something special.
It still has something really cool in it. This idea of diving down through the ocean, through the water somehow, which felt very much the way your mind feels or the subconscious, and I love that about it.
The sequence, entitled Joy Alone, sees the character dive into an ocean of subconsciousness. Joy essentially encounters an imaginary Riley who will never grow up. Although this isn't the real Riley, Joy is tempted to remain in this fantasy world where nothing changes. Joy has come to realize, though, that change is necessary and she has to be there for Riley.
This offers her that chance. This is like a temptation for her. It's exactly what Joy has been lobbying for and struggling for, and now we're going to give it to her. But by now, Joy has learned too much and she knows that she can't abandon the real Riley who's growing up.
As the story developed, Inside Out became less about accepting adulthood and more about the importance of sadness. This moment, therefore, no longer fit into the narrative, although Joy has a similar epiphany in the memory dump.
Sadness. Mom and Dad, the team, they came to help because of sadness.
Number 2. Joy and Fear's Adventure.
Just because Joy and Sadness are gone, I have to do stupid dream duty.
The script more or less always revolved around Joy getting lost in Riley's mind. In its earliest incarnation, though, Joy's traveling partner was Fear rather than Sadness. Fear was also more aggressive in this version, trying to prevent Joy from returning to headquarters in one sequence.
Joy? Is that you? Listen. You know, I'm sorry for trying to destroy you. That really crossed the line.
It was on Father's Day 2013 that Pete Docter began to reconsider this premise, wondering what Joy could learn from Fear. Docter found that the people he's closest to not only shared in the good times, but also the sad times. He wasn't sure how his crew would respond to the idea of rewriting and re-storyboarding a film already deep into development. Fortunately, his colleagues agreed with this new direction, making sadness an essential part of the story.
Sadness, it's up to you.
Me?
Sadness? Sadness?
I can't, Joy.
Yes, you can. Riley needs you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Cut emotions. While the filmmakers narrowed it down to 5 emotions, they initially envisioned 27.
Okay, love that. And what was your name again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I can get ahead of myself. I'm anxiety. I'm one of Riley's new emotions, and we are just super jazzed to be here. Where can I put my stuff?
What do you mean, we?
The emotions were also going to have human names, fear being Freddy and anger being Ira. In an alternate opening, we would have met Hope, Pride, and Schadenfreude. Ennui even appeared, although she had to wait until the sequel, as did envy, embarrassment, nostalgia, and anxiety. Where the sequel introduced 5 new emotions, there could have been 9.
Riley's life is more complex now. It requires more sophisticated emotions than all of you. You just aren't what she needs anymore, Joy.
Schadenfreude was again given the axe, along with jealousy, awe, suspicion, and guilt. Shame was considered as well, although some debated if shame was an emotion. In any case, shame wasn't pleasant. Love, gloom, irritation, and greed are just some of the other cut emotions, but Riley's mind is bound to grow more crowded over time.
All right, here you go. Your new expanded console is up and running.
Would you like to see any of these deleted things resurface in the next Inside Out? Let us know in the comments.
Boo! Pick a plot line!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.